Hi, and welcome to BremSter Puzzles, where today I'm starting set 4 of the Sudokétudes series of puzzles. Today, so we're returning to classic Sudoku, that's the way to put it. And this is Slippery Corners by BremSter. So this set is another one that is created mostly by me. Maggie, my mother, has a little bit of input in these puzzles, but unless she's the main creator, she doesn't like to be credited. That's just the way it works. So this is Slippery Corners by BremSter, a classic Sudoku. I try and start these series with a couple of classic Sudoku because the whole point of this series is basically for Maggie and I to improve our scanning skills and our knowledge of classic Sudoku, how to set them, and how to use what we learn from setting classic Sudoku to improve our other puzzle skills. So that's what we're doing. And we're sharing that with you because we can. So Slippery Corners by BremSter. Now with this puzzle, I'm going to go through some of the very basic techniques, the same way as I do with all of the first puzzles in the series. Experienced solvers will almost certainly be able to just plow through this puzzle in a couple of minutes, but I'm going to take my time and go through all of the basics. There will of course be a link below to where you can attempt this puzzle for yourself. I'm going to get into it. So what do we have? We've got normal Sudoku rules apply. So in every box, in every row, and in every column, the digits 1 to 9 must be placed without repetition. That's all of the rules. Now, with the Sudokétudes series of puzzles, these will get released as a PDF over on the puzzle collection page on my free Patreon. They're available for everyone after the puzzle set has been completely released, and they'll get added to a tracking list as well. The other thing I want to make clear is once a puzzle has been released on the channel, it is perfectly fine for other video solvers and everything to solve these puzzles or stream them or whatever. This is explicitly given in the PDF of the pack releases. But now I'm going to restart this puzzle to restart my timer. Let's give this a shot. So what can I see to start with? So is there any obvious? Yes, there is. So we have 2 already in this column. We have 2 already in this column, but we do need to put a 2 in box 2. Why am I calling this box 2? Because we have 9 rows in the Sudoku and we number them at the top going down. So this is row 1, row 2, row 3, row 4, all the way down to row 9. We number columns the same, column 1, column 2, column 3, column 4, all the way to column 9. Boxes we do top and then top down left right. So box 1, box 2, box 3, box 4, box 5, box 6, box 7, box 8 and box 9. So this is box 2, and we do need to put a 2 in box 2 because every box needs all of the numbers, and we can't repeat 2s in any of these. These already have digits, so this has to be a 2. Now we know that let's look at box 3, we need to put a 2 in box 3, but we can't put it in row 1 or row 2. So it has to go in one of those 2 cells. And what we do is we mark it with a corner pencil mark. In Sudoku Pad, this is done, there is a corner marking tool. So I do it by holding shift and hitting 2. But what we do is we put a 2 in corners when we've restricted a single digit down to 2 possible options, at least in classic Sudoku. And I try and do it for most of the Sudokétudes series, with some variants you may mark in more than 2 locations. But the reason that you do this is if I ever get a situation where I can remove 2 from one of these 2 cells, I don't need to rediscover 2. I automatically know that the 2 goes into the other cell because I've restricted it to 2. Eliminate 1, you know where the 2 goes. And that's a nice little pencil marking trick. And I've just seen, I've got 5s looking up, removing 5 from there, 5 looking up, removing 5 from there, 5 looking across, removing 5 from there. So I can pencil mark 5 in one of those 2. And this is basically reducing my options significantly for where I have to look for 5s in some places in the grid. Where else could I say? Oh, this is a big one. This is a very big one. Box 5 needs to get an 8. And these cells are already filled, and this 8 says I can't put 8 into any of those. So 8 has to go into one of those 2. And this is what's called pointing digits, because I can't put 8 into any of those digits or any of these cells, because if I was to put an 8 into any of these, That would mean I couldn't put an 8 into any of those. I couldn't put an 8 into any of those, and there'd be no 8 in box 5, which would break it. So these 8s are effectively taking up the position of 8s in column 5. So I can't put 8s in any of those, but I do need to put an 8 in box 2. So this becomes an 8. And this means this is the pair of digits that hasn't been placed. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. These have to be 6 and 7. And that now points back down because 7 has to go in one of those two. I can't put 7 in any of those. 7 has to go in one of those two. This 7 looks up saying that's not the 7, that's the 7. This column is only missing a single digit, which seems to be a 9. And now I can pencil mark this in a different way. Now, I actually pencil marked this in a different way and I didn't explain it. When you put digits in the center of a box like this, what I'm doing is I'm saying that the only digits that can go into those cells, a cell being an individual place where you can put a digit. This is a box. So there are different ways of breaking up a grid. This is a box, but an individual place you can put a digit is called a cell. And these cells could only possibly take the digits 6 and 7. Down here, the only possible things that can go into these cells are 1, 3, and 4, because all of the other digits have already been placed in the box. And I can do some eliminations there. The 4 is looking down, taking the 4 out of there, so I can make that the 4. This 3 is looking across, making that the 1, and that the 3. That means in this column, I know which digit hasn't been placed. So I've placed all of the digits except for 1. So this becomes the 1, and now I can mark this triple. I haven't placed a 5, an 8, or a 9. Well, there's already a 5 and an 8 in row 4, so that becomes the 9. I already knew this couldn't be the 8, so this has to be the 5, and this has to be the 8. And I've now completed these 3 boxes. Now I want to look, you generally then want to look for locations that are very full of digits. So you want to look for either rows, columns, or boxes that are very full of digits. And we can see this row is very full of digits. I've already got 7 of the 9 digits placed. So I can see what's missing, 1 and 2. I already have a 1 in this box, so that becomes the 2. This becomes the 1. This row is very full of digits. I haven't placed 3 or 4, so that becomes 3 and 4. Not seeing how to resolve that one yet. So now I want to look at, okay, what's happening with this box? Because I've placed all but 3 digits, and I haven't placed 3, 4, or 9. So these have to be 3, 4, 9. 9 has to be one of those two. That can't be a 4 because of the 4 looking up. These ones are 2, 3, and 4. So these are 2, 3, and 4, but 3 and 3 means these can't be 3. So this is the 3, this is the 4, and I can take 4 out of there. This becomes 3, 9, this is 2, 4, the 4 is looking down, making that the 2 and that the 4. And I've almost completed this central part as well. So the puzzle just flows from there. Now, I've got 4 and 4 here, removing 4 from all of those, and I've got 4 and 4 here, removing 4 from all of those. It's basically, as soon as you've got 4 digits looking into the same box, you can place that digit. Now, where's the most restricted? Well, it's 4s again. 4 and 4 is eliminating 4 from all of those. That 4 is eliminating 4 from there. That's a 4. And that's all of the 4s in the grid. Now I'm down to 3 possible options in this row. So let's pencil mark them. I need to put 2, 7, and 9 in, and there's a 7, 9 looking down in column 7. So that can't be the 7 or the 9, that's the 2, and I removed 2 from those because that removed it. Not sure how to resolve that 7, 9 yet, but now I can turn around and do some more pencil marking because 7 can't be in any of those, or there. So I can pencil mark 7 there. 9 can't be in any of those, or any of those. I can pencil mark 9 in there. Does that help? I don't know. Let's look at this. Well, actually the 2 does. And this is what I was talking about when I put this 2 in right at the start. As soon as I can eliminate one of these 2s, I don't need to do more investigation. This 2 looks up removing that 2, so that becomes the 2. These digits are now restricted down to 3. I'd done the rows, I hadn't done the columns. So what are the possibilities? I need a 1, I need a 5, and I need an 8. Well, this can't be 1 or 5. So this becomes the 8, and I remove 8 from those. Okay, we're getting some more restrictions in. We seem to be down. Oh no, there's another place to put 3 digits, which is in row 3. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I need 6, 7, and 9. And here, oh, this is a bit more complex. But so these are from 6, 7, and 9. This one can't be 6. Do I want to use this trick? I think I do. 9 has to be in one of these. Now, I don't think this is going to be needed for the solve, but I did spot it, so I'm going to use it. So what we can tell now is 9 has to be in one of these two cells. And this is what's called an X-wing, but I'm going to explain it a different way. This is a little bit more advanced than I would have expected to use for the easy puzzle, but it's here. So 9 is in one of these two cells in this row. So I can't put 9 in any of those cells. Otherwise, I couldn't put 9 in this row at all. If I was to put a 9 here, there would be nowhere in this row I could put a 9. Similarly, 9 is in one of those cells. So if I was to put a 9 in any of these, I couldn't put a 9 in this row at all. So none of these cells here can take a 9. But I need to put a 9 in this column. So if none of those cells can take a 9 and none of those cells can take a 9, the only place I can put a 9 in column 1 is right there. And that becomes the 3. And now I'm down to 3 possible options in column 1. I need to put 2, 3, and 6. Well, the 2 looks across saying that's not the 2. This 2 looks across saying that's not the 2. So this is the 2. I also could have used the 3, 6 looking across, forcing that to be the 2. And these are a 3, 6, which I'm not sure how to resolve yet. Okay. What is the biggest restriction? Well, where's 1? 1 is in one of those two because of the ones looking down. 3 in this box is in one of those. Actually, it's in one of those two because it can't be in those, or that one. So 3 is in one of those two. Similarly, up here in box 1, 3 is in one of those two. I've got 4, 5. I need to put 6 in here, but it's in one of those two. 7, I need to put 8 in here. But it seems to be able to go anywhere. Okay. This column, where's 8 in this column? So I can't, right, no. Let's just look at box 1. This is way easier. And this is actually going to use the pencil marks effectively. 8 and 8 mean 8 can't go in any of those. So 8 can only go here. But when I put an 8 here, it's going to overwrite a pencil marked 5. So as soon as I put 8 here, this is the only place that 5 can go. And when I put 5 here, it's going to overwrite a pencil marked 3. So this is the only place 5 can go, which means this is where 3 has to go. The 3 looks down, making this the 6, which overmarked a pencil marked 3, which means this is the 3, which overwrote a pencil marked 1, which means this is the 1. This isn't a 6 because I've already put the 6 in the box, but this has to be the 8, the only digit that hasn't been placed. And that's because these are 7 and 9 and can't be anything else. Okay, that's cool. So this is 6, 7, or 9. I know 6 is in one of those two. This is 6, 7, or 9 to complete the triple in this box. But it can't be 9 because 9 has to be in one of those two for the row. The 5 is looking back, making that the 1, which looks down, making that the 5. And these are now down to pairs. This is 1 and 7. And the 1 is looking down, making that the 7 and that the 1. These, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. These are 8 and 9. So this is an 8, 9 pair, looking down, making that the 9 and that the 8. So let's look at what we've got up here because the columns are now restricted to pairs. In this column, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. These are 7 and 9 because I've also got an 8. The 9 is looking across, making that the 7 and that the 9. The 7 looks all the way across here, making that the 6 and that the 7. That takes 7 out of both of those. So this now has to be the 9, this the 6, this the 7. The 7 looks down, making that the 9 and that the 7. These are the last two digits that haven't been placed, which are 5 and 6. And I'll use that 6 to look across to make that the 5 and that the 6. And that's the solution to the puzzle. Could I have solved this? And as you can see, this is a 52-day-old puzzle. I've made a whole bunch of these puzzles in a row, and I've been trying to allocate them to sets. As you can see, I probably could have solved this a lot faster. I haven't looked at this puzzle in 52 days. I probably could have solved this a heck of a lot faster, but the whole point was to try and explain some of the basic concepts that are used in classic Sudoku. So when we get to the variants and everything, that you will not be overwhelmed by them if you haven't seen them before. And as I move through the classics and get to the harder techniques, I will only introduce the harder techniques. I won't introduce the center pencil marks or anything until we get onto the next set of Sudokétudes. Thank you everyone for watching. I hope you enjoy the set, and as always, good luck with your solving.